Welcome back to another episode of Adoptions from the Heart TV. I'm your host, Amanda Aliberti. Today, we're really excited to sit down with a birth mom who's going to talk about her experience being Black and placing her child for adoption. So thank you, Ayanna, for joining us today.
Hello, you're welcome. I'm glad to be here.
So can you take us back when you were first deciding to place your child for adoption and you were reviewing prospective adoptive families? Was race at all an important factor in the type of family you were looking for your daughter?
No, race was not actually a big factor for me. I mean, I did think about it, but it wasn't a big issue. All reality, I just really sat and thought, like, I was really concerned on like the best parents for my child. So race wasn't really a big issue for me. You as a mother, you're going to know who was right for your child. You're going to have that natural feeling anyway. You as a mother, you would know completely. You would know if that family is right for your child. You would know if that family is not right for your child. It could be one thing, one specific. They can have everything going on perfectly with them, but it's one thing they can say where you'd be like, I'm not feeling it, and that's fine. That is completely okay because you want what's best for your child. Just go with your natural mother instinct is all I gotta say.
I know you had mentioned that race wasn't necessarily an important factor for you when you were placing your child for adoption. The family that you placed with, what is their racial background?
Maggie, she's Caucasian, and Haran, he's Indian, Arabic.
So
I think so.
Do you ever have moments where you think about that, of how, because your daughter is Black, and kind of what her upbringing will look like, and do you have any concerns or fears associated with the environment that she's being brought up in?
Actually, I 100% no, I have no fears at all. And I only say that is because, I mean, at first I had a little bit of fear, but knowing for a fact that Maggie, she takes her time out. She actually sent me a picture not too long ago. She put individuals in Ella's hair. She braided them. And she actually keeps her up to date with cultural African American history. She's still teaching her cultural history and who she is. So there's no fear for me at all.
That's great. It sounds like they're able to provide really great racial mirrors for your daughter, so you feel comfortable with how they're raising her. That's great. So we've heard certain people say that within the Black community, adoption is still taboo. And some would argue that there is still adoption happening, just maybe not necessarily private adoption, which is what we do here at the agency. But for you and your experience, when you were placing your child for adoption, did you receive support from the people within your community in terms of your choice to place, or did you receive any sort of like negative backlash about your decision?
Yeah, I received support, but like I could tell who was completely supportive and who was only supportive because they knew I wasn't going to change my mind. The ones that like were very supportive, they were the ones that told me, of course, do what was best. Do you feel as though it's best? What would make her happy, and everything. And those people are the ones that I listen to anyway. Because if I didn't want to do adoption, it wouldn't have came to my mind in the first place. Whereas though, like I did have some family, some friends, like I had some family where they were like, oh, well, you could have gave her to me, or you could have did this, or you could have did that. And then like, I love family and all, but sometimes doing that is always a backlash. It's always a huge backlash. And then that's one thing I don't want to put my family through. I don't want to put myself through. I don't want to put any of my kids into any drama or any of the case. And then I've had friends that came and they just really weren't concerned. They just kept asking questions like, well, why this? Why that? What happened with this? What happened to that? Why didn't you tell me? Why did you do it? And I'm like, I just wanted to pull my hair out. I'm not going to lie. But honestly, I just sat and thought about what was best for her. I was literally just talking to my best friend today, just telling him, like, as bad as I wanted a daughter all my life, but all reality, I had to do what was best regardless of anybody's opinion.
So traditionally within the adoption world, prospective adoptive parents, there's not much diversity. So like within our agency, we don't have as many Black individuals coming into our program wanting to adopt. What do you think the reasons are for that? And what are ways that we could reach out more to diverse communities so that we can have more options for our birth parents when they are choosing a family?
So what I can say about somebody coming from a Black community and you're thinking about adoption, and then all reality is just, when it comes to everybody's opinion, it doesn't matter. It really does. It doesn't matter at all. And then what I would like to say about that is just do what's best. I know it's hard because you're going to have family, friends, everybody talking in your ear, telling you what to do and what not to do. And what I'm going to tell you, the best thing to do is do what's best for you and your child. Nobody can tell you what'll make you happy. Nobody can tell you what will make your child happy. And nobody will tell you how your life is going to go. Because we can't even predict what our life is going to look like in the next 5 minutes. We don't know.
Well, you seem very confident in your decision, Ayanna, and it sounds like Ella is living an amazing life. And she has you to thank for that because you were able to give her that life. So that's something you should be really proud of. Any final thoughts, anything else you'd like to say in terms of how, race is perceived within the adoption community?
They're just thinking about loving a child and somebody to love them in return.
Well, I think that's beautifully said. They're looking to love a child, and a child just wants love in return. So that's beautiful. Well, thank you so much for taking the time to chat with us. And we're hopeful that this can, help people in the community that want to learn more about Black voices within adoption. Feel free to tune in next week, and we hope to see you guys soon. Thanks so much.